Hello everyone, my name is Chantal and I have been asked by the South African Blind Women in Action to do a short little video on tips to deal with anxiety and depression during this time of COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown. So it's brought up a lot of fears and a lot of anxiety and especially depression as well for a lot of us. I know it has been a challenging time for me as well. And sometimes, the fear is so overwhelming that it does put you into a state of anxiety, especially around finances and health. People like us with comorbidities, I for one have lupus. It's almost more scary because it forces you to face your own mortality, and that's a big pill to swallow. So I just want to share some tips with you today that has helped me get through difficult times, and that's helping me get through the period of COVID-19 and the lockdown and those fears, all those fears that surround it. So the first thing that I want to impart is to act as if. Now, by that I mean is, sometimes we don't even feel like getting out of bed because the depression has got us. We don't really see what we are going to do for the day because we perhaps at home, we perhaps lost our jobs. So it's difficult sometimes to get out of bed, right? So what I mean by act as if is that get up, make your bed, open the windows, open the curtains, open the blinds, whatever you need to open. Let some fresh air in. Make your bed. Plan for the day. Make breakfast. Even if it's a little bit of stuff that you do, have a plan and act as if there isn't this depression or this anxiety that's pulling you down. Sometimes we don't even want to take a bath or a shower because I know how badly depression can become. But it is in that time that we especially need to do these things. So we act as if we are not being held down by this depression. Get into a shower, wash our hair, change our clothes, brush our teeth. Simple acts like that just gets us through the day. Then another thing I'd like to share, or another tip, is gratitude. Now, gratitude is a difficult um, thing to feel for a lot of us during this time because there's less income or no income. There are family and friends who has passed away from COVID. They, myself or you could be suffering with COVID-19, and we have comorbid. So there's just this overwhelm of negativity, and it's difficult to be grateful in such a period. But gratitude next to love is one of the strongest emotions and forces on this earth. So what I try and practice to do, and what I am suggesting, is to do a gratitude list. Like really sit down daily, make time to sit and write a gratitude list with at least 10 things. Sometimes we feel like we have got absolutely nothing to be grateful for, but that is the time that we really need to sit down. And even if it is as simple as running water or hot water or food in the fridge or a roof over our head or our family that's still with us, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Then number three, for me, service is a huge thing, because what service does for me is that it takes me out of myself. So I can be in my own head, and I can be having all these negative thoughts, and I can be having all this sort of arguments and what ifs and what nots and what if that happens and that doesn't happen, and all those things can go in my head, right? And that is what causes us anxieties if we think of the what ifs. Yes, there are a lot of what ifs, and that's just the fact of life. But service helps me get out of myself, and by that I mean make a cup of tea or coffee for someone, make a meal for someone that can't repay you. Whatever kind of service, you pick up the phone, send a message to somebody you haven't heard from, or somebody that you know is going through a difficult period or a worse off time than what you are. We always think that our situation is the worst until we hear the other person's story. So service is very important because it takes me out of my crazy head, and my head can be a dangerous neighborhood sometimes. Service just takes me to that place where if I'm on a call or a message, or I'm cooking for someone, or whatever it is, it takes me out of myself and my immediate worries and needs and wants, takes me out of that, and it makes me focus on somebody else's needs. And that for me is relief from self, from my ego. What's also very important is pray. Now, probably a lot of us pray, and And one thing that I've learned over a period of years is that prayer isn't just this transactional thing where we say, God, if you do this for me, please do this for me so that I can do that, right? Please do that so that I can. I've come to learn that prayer is more about asking not for ourselves but for others, um, asking to do God's will and asking Him to give us the strength to carry out His will. We only ask for ourselves if it is to help another person. And what's also very important with prayer is that um, praying for others, but also praying for those who we feel have injured or hurt us or betrayed us or whatever the case may be, because that brings about a softening of the heart and it brings about forgiveness also within yourself. So praying for others, especially those who we perceive as having hurt us, that's really important because it brings about forgiveness, and it's so important not to have a heart of hatred and discontent, especially in this time, because your physical health does affect your mental health and vice versa. Your spiritual health affects your mental health and your physical health. So, and that's just how it works. The three goes together. Then the next one would be meditation. Now, prayer is when we talk to God, and meditation is when we listen to God. So what I try and do is I make time every day in the morning. So I start my day off like that with prayer, meditation, and I do readings, spiritual readings, biblical readings, whatever religion you are, doesn't matter. But just to spend that time with the God of your understanding. And that is so important. And in meditation, I get to stop talking and I listen. We get to listen, just sit quiet. And I know a lot of us struggle with meditation. I'm one of them. So what I do is can start off with 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 3 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be these long stretches of meditation. What I've learned about meditation, how it's helped me to still the head, because it's like when I wake up, the monkey starts yakking and the wheels start turning, and that also causes anxiety, and we think back, and that also causes depression because we think of should haves and would haves, or we're thinking of what ifs. So meditation gets us into a place where we can be still and just for that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just be still and know that He is God. And that gives us strength for the day. Then exercise and getting outside. Vitamin D is super important. So not all of us have the luxury of going for a jog in the street or having a bicycle or something like that. What I like to do is I like to work in the garden with my husband. Just get some sun in. So whatever exercise looks like to you, do that. I mean, I don't actually like walking around in our streets either. So I'm either doing yoga. There are so many apps on that one can download now. So I can do yoga. I dance, while I'm cooking or cleaning or whatever. I put my earphones in, I put the radio on, and that's probably the cheapest way of exercises. And dancing or any kind of exercise increases your endorphins, that happy hormone. And so it just makes you feel better. And dancing in the lounge or the kitchen like no one is watching is one of the best therapeutic things that I know of. I love it because it moves my mood from here to there like that. And then another thing is, I also find, I'm sure you know this as well, is that there's so much negative energy and negative news and WhatsApps and all these things going on, being sent to our phone and our feeds on Facebook and Instagram and all of those things. Try to avoid it. Try to avoid as much negative publicity and talk and news and fake news about the virus at the moment, because I find that the more I read or the more I see this negativity, it affects my mood, and we have to decide. I think that is probably where I'm going to end up, is that we have to decide to be happy. you know we have to make the right choices for ourselves. There's other things, yes. Sleep. If you have to sleep enough. Self-care. Take a bath, take a shower, paint your nails, wash your hair, whatever that looks like for you. But we need to go easy on ourselves. And by saying easy on ourselves, it means cut off from the negativity and take care of you. So I'm glad that I could have done this. I hope that I was of some help to you, and I wish you all of the best. And please let me know, what do you think of the tips, and are you implementing it, and is it difficult or isn't it not? Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful day.